Hey everyone, how's it going? It's the Amateur Dota 2 League Season 2. It's Tuesday night, and we're ready for some good quality amateur Dota action. This is Coddle Guy. I'm streaming live right now over at twitch.tv/Coddle Guy. And with me this evening, the devilishly handsome, well-mannered Mason, White Elephant Hills Dota. Sir, how are you doing tonight?
Coddle, you are too kind, my friend. I am quite well. How are you?
I'm great. We waited out for this one. It was a nail-biter in the lobby itself, but finally, America's finest tardy players, America's finest Dota players have made their entrance into the game, and now we get to go underway, and this is a special matchup today. Razer Blade International, Mason, can they get their first point in Amateur Dota 2?
You know, I think that they honestly can. We saw these guys play last week, and they played much better than a team that has no points. I mean, maybe it's just bad luck of the draw. I don't know what it is, but I'd like to see them get a win here.
I really want them to get a win too, and I think their captain, Pitbull, is actually a very solid player. He's been doing a great job carrying. Unfortunately, it just doesn't feel like the rest of the team are there to like rally him and pick him up above their shoulders and just go into victory. It's kind of like he's trying desperately to get the game going. It prolongs a little bit, and then just unfortunately it all collapses in itself. So let's see. We want Razer Blade to get their first point. Now this is week 4 of 6 in the Amateur Dota 2 Season 2, which is the Tuesday League, and they have 2 more weeks to build up as many points. They're going to pick out the top 3 teams from each division, and they also have room for a wild card, which means if they show a promising performance, they might be able to still partake in the playoffs. So with that said, Mason, Razer Blade have no chance at all of being in the playoffs, just being inducted in there based on points. But hey, if they can do a promising performance, if Pitbull can pull it together and get his team some 2 solid victories, maybe they might win over the eye of the AD2L admins, and they might be able to get in the playoffs.
You know what? From what I've seen so far, I have to say that they definitely deserve the wild card spot. Let's hope they keep my faith here.
Now let's hope maybe they go from 0 points to winning the whole thing. That would be a story in itself. So let's finally attend to the draft at hand, and a lot of the usual standards. America's finest Dota players, they get rid of the Alchemist, they get rid of the Slarky and the Death Prophet. No surprises there. Alchemist is going to be that top pick. But, when the new patch rolls out, I don't think that's going to be the same story. Why don't you go ahead and fill in everyone just a little bit about what is going to be happening to Alchemist this coming few days?
Well, he got a bit of a nerf in that the unstable concoction is a shorter timer now. It only goes to 5.5 seconds as opposed to 7.5. So it's going to make it a little more time sensitive to throw. And another big change is that it also doesn't continue to charge in the air. So when you see someone throw a concoction from way downtown, it's getting more and more powerful and going towards that 7.5 second maximum for the entire duration that it's actually flying to them. So players aren't going to get hit with literal max stun, max damage concoctions anymore. They also nerfed his night vision by a pretty solid amount, but I think he's still going to be a very, very sought after hero. Maybe not first pick, first ban, but still very strong.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the mix. I don't think he'll... Yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll be first ban, first pick. He might be a little more situational. Now it might be like, well, maybe if we get someone to work alongside him, not like, oh, we're going to get him and we'll just... Now we know we have him, we can do whatever we want. Now it's going to be just a touch more situational because he's losing a lot of those benefits. But look at this, Razer Blade, they're still kind of going with the obscure style draft. We have Nature's Prophet and then Vengeful Spirit, who, I guess you don't have to give away too much with an early Vengeful Spirit pickup because she can be played late game if you like, and you can't play her as a support. And I say this all the time, I don't like her as a support because... Well, while she has an amazing ultimate that can make some great isolation plays happen, you have to get past even level 6 for it to be truly useful. The range is just so minimal that even when you swap someone out, it's like if they have any sort of maneuverability, like Sand King, for example, he'll just burrow strike away and it'll be done with it. So now she has to get all those levels and all that farm to even be something significant.
I agree. Swap isn't too great until level 11, but before that, you pick her for the rest of her skill set, in all honesty. Like, Swap is awesome, but having that like ranged guaranteed stun, as well as damage bonus for your team through Vengeance Aura and through Wave of Terror with the armor reduction, is really, I would say, the best part of her set, although swap is still very good. You put her in lane with somebody like, you know, any sort of physical damage dealer, especially a ranged damage dealer, and you throw a magic missile on a target and you Wave of Terror them, coupled with her aura, you hit really freaking hard.
Absolutely, and it's going to be something that will help a lot with the lifestealer, but I like what America's finest Dota players did like there. They immediately snag up the Storm Spirit for themselves, and Razorblade, unfortunately, had got rid of the puck themselves. So now you're looking for maybe something you can use as a vehicle, something that can work with a little more synergy with the lifestealer. They don't have to worry about the clockwork, obviously, because they banned him out. They probably knew, ahead of time they're going to be going with the lifestealer, or knowing that lifestealer has big trouble going against him. They get rid of him flat out there. Dota players have Storm Spirit now in the mid lane, so what is Razorblade going to do to contest Storm Spirit? They have the benefit of the Doom already on their team, but they're going to need to try to shut him down and not allow him to get those early levels where he can then begin to roam around and pick off the others easily, who also works very well against a Nature's Prophet who can, try to go for that split push. Storm Spirit's someone who can shut him down.
I'd like to see another roaming support style for Razorblade to go with that Vengeful Spirit. Naga's a great one. I would say Alchemist would have been better, but it's obviously been banned out. This is really great. Vengeful Spirit and Naga Siren have two very good hard lockdowns, and Naga has a pretty big nuke in that Riptide, and Magic Missile does a fair amount of damage. And so ganking that Storm Spirit early with Nature's Prophet teleporting in if necessary is going to be really easy, and Storm is definitely going to have to be on his guard in regards to that. I am a little bit surprised, though, that Razorblade picked the Lifestealer into the Doom. Lifestealer is, obviously very good, but if you Doom him, he can't Rage and he can't Infest. But more importantly, his lifesteal is gone, his passives are disabled, and so he becomes a whole lot weaker when he doesn't have Magic Immunity and he doesn't have lifesteal.
Wow, bang, bang, right there at the end. Immediately, America's finest Dota players going full greed mode. They grab the Luna right away to finish things off. They have some sort of interesting tri-core battle damage team going on here. I guess Sand King's your most significant support you're going to roll with here. It's just overall extremely greedy. Even him needs to get a little bit of farm to build up that potential Blink Dagger or anything going for him. So interesting choice on their part. Meanwhile, Razer finished off with a very confident Invoker pickup last, which, who's been very prominent in the mid lane lately. As long as he falls into, some good hands, we'll see how he matches up, however, against the Storm Spirit. But with that said, we hopped in the game. I'm going to go ahead and roll through the introductions. I'll start with the Tardy Boys, America's finest Dota players here. On your yellow, we have Finesse KJ. He's playing your Timber Saw. It looks like he will roll to that off lane potentially. Meanwhile, Jigga J. Roy is going to be playing your Sand King. Heading to the bottom, alongside him will be Ging, who is playing your Luna. Over in the jungle already is Mr. Buko Taney playing your Doom. In the mid lane, it will be Storm Spirit. He's going to be played by Birdman. Bidman? No, sorry. Bidman. That purple on green is just a dirty, dirty eyesore for me. Meanwhile, Mason, why don't you go ahead and roll into the Razer?
Absolutely. So up top, heading to the top lane, we have Sven Seed on the Vengeful Spirit. We have Despair on the Naga, and we'll go with Sai on the Lifestealer. In the mid lane, we have Captain Pitbull on the Invoker, and we have A1 playing the off-lane Nature's Prophet.
Very nice. Pretty standard cookie-cutter setups here. Nature's Prophet just going to try to play like that old-school Bulldog Nature's Prophet. We'll see if he decides to be, a bit of a pest with those trees, try to block out the camps as much as possible. That's going to, be very effective against the Sand King, who doesn't really have a good time trying to piddle down the trees. Luna, in the meantime, will just try to look for as much space as possible. She's going to be desperate to try to get up that early BKB, but the funny thing about getting BKB when you're fighting against a team with a Naga is you have to be really careful with how you time that out. If Naga pops her song and while you have a BKB, next thing you know, they have a nice setup to shut her down.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, check your draft. Check your overlay, buddy.
Yes. I was so excited about everything else being set up. I had to get the overlay good. Thanks. I got that. Sorry about that, everyone.
I can't even count how many times I've done this. So I really like this Invoker pick. He's been very prolific lately because people are sort of learning how strong he can be if you just give him like a 4-staff and a Necro book. he becomes a pushing monster with Forge Spirits, and he should do fairly well against the Storm Spirit once he gets some Exort rolling. He should be able to outlast it, barring Revenant. And his Cold Snap is going to make it really easy for ganks.
So tell me real quick. Now, I'm not a huge Invoker player, and it sounds like obviously you know more with Invoker than I do, and he is getting tweaked up a bit here in the next patch. Obviously, it's nerfing a touch those spirits right there that everyone loves to abuse, but they're actually buffing up his other skills just a hair. Now, is it enough to bring back the QW Invoker? Or
I'm going to go back and look at the changes really, really quickly, just so I
no
can
pressure.
see for definite.
No, yeah, I know that, like, for example, the mana burst is increased a lot. I don't think they did much with Shockwave or Cyclone or anything, but it was just a little bit of a hodgepodge kind of fix up there to see how it goes. Meanwhile, I'm going to check over here in the jungle. You can see Doom himself, just kind of continuation farm happening here. We'll see if he rolls into the Golden Glove next, building up that typical minus. Look at the bottom lane. Ging is having all the space she could ask for, getting those last hits, leading the front early. 13 and 10 CS. Nature's Prophet is like, I'm done with that. I'm just going to go ahead and head right in the jungle and go for the farm. Now, this is a bit of a problem. If they're going to leave her all that extra space to work with, they need to address the situation early. Think about maybe rotating this Naga Vengeful to the bottom lane. If they can, get a couple stuns and ensnare to follow, that's going to make it very easy for a Sunstrike. And next thing you know, you have a big global presence.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised that Vengeful Spirit and Naga have decided to just kind of sit and attempt to farm their own jungle. They are an incredibly powerful roaming combo, and Storm Spirit does not have anything that even resembles an escape. So, at least not till he hits 6. And I think they're really not quite using their full potential here. I was happy to see Nature's Prophet just go towards the jungle, although he is back bottom now. Sand King and Luna is pretty terrifying. You have an almost guaranteed setup for Burrow Strike, even just with the small stun that Lucent Beam gets, and Luna just does a lot of right-click damage one way or the other.
Yeah, it's rough. I was going to say the exact thing you said about their supports on Razer Blade. They have such good potential there. They even have the smoke ready to go. It's just they're not thinking about using it just yet, but I really hope they consider doing it soon. Yeah, Timbersaw definitely has a really easy matchup against the Lifestealer, so they can't really leave him all alone. So it's either, let's commit to maybe trying to get the Timbersaw or just get something going. Well, meanwhile, it does appear in the mid lane. They're going to make a move on the Invoker. There goes the Vortex. He's eating a lot of damage, but with the help of the Invis, they're trying to kite him out. Burrow Strike to fly in. Pitbull's in trouble now. He's going to take one more auto attack and will fall. That is your first blood going to Sand King. And that is a textbook-style gank by someone you don't get to see very often. Sand King just trumping the Naga Vengeful Spirit and what they could have had as a successful roaming combo.
Yeah, that was a really nice wraparound by him, and I now realize that there are no wards out for the Dire.
Come
just
on,
none.
Blade. 0 points, baby. You got to step it
wards.
up a little bit. Come on.
Sand King just casually plodded his way through the river to behind the tower. Nice, easy Burrow Strike. That is definitely not the way that first blood should have gone, and he's going to be dead again.
Fades of future past. Here we go again. Invoker eating a lot of damage. Might not be successful this time. He does turn back and man up a bit. Will he regret this? He will! Pitbull! Taken out again. Tried to step back with a little bit of greed there and just be like, get the hell out of here. But unfortunately, Storm Spirit has enough and takes him right out. That's a 2-0 lead already. Both on Invoker. This Storm Spirit is going to be a big problem now.
Yeah, he's going to have about 2 levels on Invoker at this point, which is just really horrendous. When you go Exort and Quasi-Exort on Invoker, you need the levels. Realistically, he wants the Midas. I don't think he's going to get it reasonably at this point, and he's just going to be way behind. His Forge Spirits aren't going to hit as hard as he wants. He's not going to have the levels on Exort that he wants, and that's going to be bad.
They try to make a move on Timbersaw top. Unfortunately, just like you expect, pulls out the Timber Chain, gets out of any sort of trouble. Not even an Ensnare can hold him down. And that's just... Oh, look at that! Jumps right in, gets the last punch on the donkey. Nice job! Finessed. Sees it, he wants it, he gets it. Now he just casually runs away from Lifestealer. This is not looking good early for Razer Blade. Even Naga is going to have a really hard time. That's what I was trying to say. She tried to ensnare Timbersaw. That's not going to work. You're going to try to ensnare Storm Spirit. That's not going to work. It's going to be rough. Luckily, she still has her Song of the Siren, and we'll see if they can make the best of it, but it's not looking good early. Not at all.
Yeah. And Nature's Prophet actually died on the bottom lane to Luna and Sand King, so He's back to the jungle now. I really think he should just kind of stay here until he gets a Midas, a couple levels, and teleport, and can be a little more mobile. And Sand King wants another gank.
Yes, he does. He's looking from afar. Wants to make it happen. Free illusion room. He's had full rune control this whole game, so no problems there. Man, Invoker's got to play so scared now. And look at this already. They're thinking about making a go for it again. He's hiding behind. Meanwhile, they are hunting through the woods. And Razer Blade, they pull out the smoke finally, but aggression in the mid lane. They go for the vortex. Are they gonna get Pitbull again? They should be able to. Look at that. From the north, Finesse steps in, throws out the assist, and grabs him with the Chakraman. Meanwhile, these two knuckleheads up in the jungle could even catch up, but now... Oh, nope. No, I thought for a second I thought Piron was on the other team, but that would have been something nice for him, but they can't even make the rotation in time to help out their teammate now. They're falling 4-0, and if you look at the gold graph, it's already over 5K at 7 minutes in. That is no bueno.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know how far ahead this Timbersaw is, where he really shouldn't be at this point, he just casually walked through this jungle, past the two supports, past Furion, and went mid lane. Like, there was absolutely nothing they could do about it.
Yeah, no real map control, no real map awareness. Finally, I mean, even Jigga lays out another casual ward for his team. They have something up here finally now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Doom still slowly farming away. Let's see if he can be the dark horse for his team. He is not going to go for the Midas. He's going to go for an early mechanism, it would appear, which will help a little bit, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Top lane, meanwhile, Despair stepping in, and they want to get Finesse. He missed the Timber Chain, and this is no good. Oh no, taken right down. Nice pickoff for them. It's something. They're on the board finally, Mason. 5-1.
Too bad Invoker's going to pay.
Yes. Oh, what?
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't even catch
just
that
evades that Sunstrike.
Wow, nice pickoff. Make it work. I'm sure Eclipse was used. I didn't happen to catch it at the beginning of that ging. Now adds even more under her belt. Phase Boots complete, Morbid Mask, but she also has 1,700 gold. We'll see if he jumps right into the Helm of the Dominator or if she's going to just farm up as much gold as possible and see what she can really, like, splurge on.
I would be willing to bet that it'll probably be a Helm of the Dominator into a Yasha. I don't think she's really going to need the BKB here. It's a lot of physical damage. Yeah, Invoker's magic, but he's so far behind at this point that he's pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah, it's going to be at that point where if they really roll out of control, she'll be pretty confident getting a BKB, I think. That, oh, Storm Spirit runs right into Sven, but nope! Jumps right away. No problems. That won't even be enough. Quickly bottles up, and now Vengeful's going to have to run. This could be trouble. Let's see if they can turn into a 2-on-1, but there's no more mana here for Sven. They're not going to have enough. Meanwhile, top lane, they're making a go in Despair, and they do get it. Timbersaw quickly jumps forward. He's starting to go to town here. Now on the run, A1 trying to pelt him from behind. Meanwhile, they did manage to catch out the Vengeful Spirit. Now they want Invoker, and they get it. Action to the south and north there. And the things continue here. Timbersaw is going to be able to get away. Lifestealer wants it. Sai trying to run from behind, but that magic wand is too much. Oh, fail right there, unfortunately. Does not get it. And now, Lifestealer steps back to his comrade Naga. Jigga running right through the tower, gets sprouted, but the Burrow Strike helps him out. A1 quickly taken apart. That was a bit of a misplay there. And they're still hunting. Despair making a run in. She has no level 6. Quick Ice Vortex. This should be big damage with the help of the... Oh, man. Timbersaw ripping him right apart.
Oh, my God.
And Storm Spirit. This is a slaughter. 4 down. Invoker already back. Can he get something for it? Cold Snap to fly, but nope. Finesse.
And they call the GG.
Wow. Well, all that waiting for a nice solid 10-minuter. If this will go through. Pitbull not happy with his early game performance. That's it, Mason. Wow. All right. What do you know?
Well, that was an exciting 40-minute build-up.
Well, let's see here. Well, the draft was a little interesting for him. They tried to make a bit of a ballsy call there. They went for the early natures and Vengeful Spirit, and I think pretty much from that point, America Finest just got what they needed and got the job done. Is there anything that could have been done for Razer to get out of this one before we hop into Game 2?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Razer got outdrafted here. I think they didn't capitalize on the early aggression that they had. If it were Naga and Vengeful Spirit ganking the Storm Spirit rather than Sand King just waddling his way in against the Invoker, that Storm would have been killed at least 2 times, and Invoker would have had a level advantage, which would have helped him a whole lot. Honestly, early enough. Timbersaw is not going to kill the Lifestealer. That's fine. And Nature's Prophet should have just gone jungle. There was no way he was going to survive against a Luna Sand King lane. There was just no way.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Before we hop into Game 2, we'll go ahead and just take ourselves over and into the studio. Well, we're meeting right here. It is another matchup, but indeed, between Razer Blade Int and America's Finest Dota. Now, Razer, yet to look for their first point in the 82L. They're going to need to step it up here. They can't throw this one away, and definitely if they want to get that wild card slot. Question is, Mason, do they have the eye of the tiger to win this game too?
I think they can do it. I think they can manage it. They played a lot better last week than they did just now. I don't think their draft was bad. I just think their execution was kind of poor. Also, my head's half cut off.
There we go. I'm trying to fix it for you, brother. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. That's right, baby. We got a studio. So take a look at the standing. What is that?
Cottle GIF head?
Yeah, exactly, right?
There we go.
There we go.
Now
We're all good to go. I'm trying to see right here. This pushes America's Finest Dota ahead to 5 points now. And I'll go ahead. We'll jump in the lobby here. So apologies for a moment. We'll splash over to his screen here, get some music going, and get the ball rolling.